So as Trump cracks down on immigration and opens up these concentration camps, Alligator Auschwitz and Guantanamo Bay, and they're building other ones right now, and they send people to CCOT, and as he has these masked ICE agents round up innocent people, no due process, no habeas corpus, one of the things that people need to keep in mind is that the tools that they're using to go after immigrants, and many of these people, by the way, are legal immigrants, and many of them end up being U.S. citizens, but it never stops just there, right? It always goes further. As soon as you have the tools in place, they're in place for everybody. So with that being said, take a look at this Newsweek article. ICE to buy eye-scanning tech that could identify migrants in seconds. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement plans to use eye-scanning biometric systems, according to new documents. Procurement documents published on Wednesday show that the agency is seeking to buy access to a service called Iris, which describes itself as a national web-based iris biometric network. Newsweek contacted ICE outside normal working hours for more information via email. President Trump's administration has intensified efforts to remove undocumented migrants in keeping with the president's hardline mass deportation policy. The White House has maintained that anyone residing in the U.S. illegally is a criminal. ICE has faced intense scrutiny over its conduct, becoming a focal point in the national immigration debate. The documents reflect federal agencies' increasing reliance on sophisticated biometric systems to verify identities in the field, with the technologies offering rapid verification capabilities to support enforcement and removal operations. Newly released procurement documents show that ICE was in the process of acquiring mobile iris scanning devices from BI2 Technologies, a tech firm in Massachusetts. Its flagship products, the Mobile Offender Recognition and Information System, MORIS, and the Inmate Identification and Recognition System, IRIS, are intended to help ICE's Enforcement and Removal Operations Unit verify the identities of individuals in custody and those encountered during enforcement actions. According to manufacturer materials, the technology allows officers to authenticate identities within seconds and access criminal justice records from multiple jurisdictions once a person is enrolled in a national biometric database. So understand what's happening here. And this is what we're seeing with Palantir and Peter Thiel. They want to create a mass database on all Americans, basically a massive blackmail database with dozens or hundreds of facts about everybody in this country, all in one place. And the government can have access to that at any time whatsoever. We're creating in real time a 1984 police state mass surveillance system. And now what ICE is rolling out here is you're walking down the street. A federal agent could just snap a picture of your face real quick. And there's eye scanning technology, which all they have to do is get that information, and then boom, they know every single thing about you. They know your criminal history, they know your records, they know in the future it'll be, oh, you didn't pay a ticket that you've had since May. Well, sorry, but now we're gonna double how much it costs, or we're gonna arrest you over it, or whatever it may be. But this is what we're talking about now, is the whole idea of privacy, the whole idea of having a right to privacy. That's now out the window. And as soon as they build up these authoritarian networks, in theory, they say, oh, it's to go after the bad guys. Well, it always starts like that, right? We heard this during the War on Terror. Oh, don't worry. Sure, we're doing the Patriot Act, but we're only going to spy on the terrorists. Oh, well, then it became not the terrorists, it became the alleged terrorists. And then it became, the friends or family members or accomplices of the alleged terrorists. Then it became, well, let's widen it to just criminals or alleged criminals, and now the friends and family of the alleged criminals. And you're just playing a game here where effectively you can illegally spy on anybody and everybody. And what we learned from Edward Snowden's leaks is that they were spying on everybody. You had agents who were spying on their own love interests, right? This is what happens when you give people this power. They are not responsible with it. And you had the FISA courts, which were just a rubber stamp. Hey, you spy on whoever you want for whatever reason you want, and boom, there is no more right to privacy in this country. This is the lesson that we learned during the War on Terror, right? And now here we are, and under the guise of this, be afraid of immigrants nonsense, now they're using it. Let's get everybody's information into a mass blackmail database from Palantir. Let's have this iris scanning technology where, somebody can know anything and everything about you just by seeing, your eyeball, having your eyeball scanned. Who asked for this? Nobody fucking asked for this. Nobody wants this. This is an authoritarian government giving themselves more tools to implement their authoritarianism, right? And by the way, this is the same government that's saying we don't want any foreign students coming in the country anymore. And then they go, okay, you know what? We change our mind. You can come back in the country, but you got to turn over all of your social media handles and we're going to go through them. And in other words, what that means is, did you say anything anti-Israel? Did you say anything pro-Palestine? Did you say anything critical of Trump? Sorry, now we're kicking you out of the fucking country. And this is the government that you want to give all of your information to? You want to let them use this dystopian nightmare of a fucking tool, an iris scan, to get all this information on you and compile it in some database somewhere? So what's it going to take? Oh, sorry, you're a harsh critic of Trump. Now I'm putting you on a no-fly list. You can't fucking go anywhere because we say so. Right? Like, where does this lead? It leads to some fucking like social credit score type system where it's like, you know, hey, sorry, you didn't make the cut. You have a low social credit score. Why? Well, your financial credit is kind of low, and that's a strike against you. And then here's this other thing that happened. You got into a fender bender in fucking 2007. Now we're going to hold that against you as well. I want the fucking government out of our private lives, out of our personal lives, right? And this is the biggest government I could ever fucking imagine, and they're all doing it under the guise of, we're going to go get the big bad immigrants. Well, you shouldn't be surprised that, you know, over 90% of the people that they're kicking out of the country have no criminal record whatsoever. So these aren't exactly sticklers for the facts. These are people who, they don't give a fuck. That's why you have Stephen Miller saying, go to the 7-Elevens, go to the Home Depots, round up the innocent people. They literally disbanded the agency that was going after the actual human traffickers. They took those ICE agents and said, no, go after the Home Depot people. Go after the ones in the parking lot, the day laborers. Go after them. And so these are the people that we're going to give this power to, this immense power. And of course, with immense power comes immense responsibility. No, they're going to abuse this thing to the high heavens, and we all know it. But we're all just sitting here as we let it happen. And this is what happens when you take MAGA and the fascism of MAGA and you marry it together with the tech broligarchs, with the AI assholes, right? Those people who they got some weird like pseudo religious type beliefs, bro. They're all transhumanists. They think that like, no, we're not in our final form yet as humans. Obviously, what we need to do is we need to meld together with the internet and with the machines and download our consciousness forever onto a computer. And we got to become these basically like these cyborgs. And that's the way that we live forever. This is what these people believe. And they're in a cult that are taking over the fucking country. It's MAGA. It's the tech broligarchs. We're creating this dystopian tech fascist nightmare right in front of our eyes. And it's stuff like this that's helping to usher it in. Nobody asked for this technology. Nobody asked for scan my iris. What the fuck are you talking about? Can a brother get some health care? Can a brother get a paid vacation day? Right? What are we talking about? You're going to scan everybody's iris. How about you give people a living wage? Right? How about that? How about you let people join a union and have better benefits? How about you end the fucking wars that you keep starting? Bombing Yemen, bombing Somalia, bombing Iran, arming Israel as they do a genocide. They're like, oh, sorry, did you want health care? Best I could do is scan your iris and create a blackmail database on you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it. Can I have another, please? Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.